20 years. That's how long an innocent man sat behind bars for a crime he didn't commit. But here's the twist. The real killer walked free the entire time, living in plain sight. This is the story of Angie Dodge, a case that exposes the dark side of our justice system, and how one mother's relentless love changed everything. If you love true crime stories about wrongful convictions, stick around. You won't believe what happened. June 13th, 1996, Idaho Falls, Idaho. An ordinary Thursday that would become anything but ordinary. 18-year-old Angie Dodge never showed up to work that day. When police arrived at her apartment, they discovered a horrific scene. Angie had been raped and brutally murdered. The community was shaken. The police department promised answers. But what followed wasn't justice. It was a tragedy compounded by injustice. Enter Chris Tapp. For hours, days, even Idaho Falls detectives grilled Tapp. They fed him details about the crime and threatened him with the death penalty. Broken and desperate, Chris confessed to a crime he never committed. He was convicted and sentenced to prison for 2 decades. But DNA evidence from the crime scene didn't match Chris. It matched someone else entirely. Yet that evidence sat in a drawer, ignored. Angie's mother, Carol Dodge, never believed Chris was guilty. She became an amateur investigator, a crusader for truth. For years, she fought. And in 2017, after 20 years in prison, Chris Tapp's rape conviction was finally vacated. How do you find a killer when traditional police work fails? The answer: science. Investigators turned to investigative genetic genealogy. They traced DNA to a family tree. Within that tree, Brian Lee Dripps Sr. Detectives began surveillance and waited for their moment. It came when Dripps carelessly tossed a cigarette to the ground. That tiny piece of genetic evidence proved he was Angie's killer. In February 2021, Dripps pleaded guilty. Chris Tapp was finally declared innocent, officially, completely. But the story doesn't end in triumph. In October 2023, Chris Tapp died at just 59 years old. 20 years in prison took their toll. Chris Tapp never fully reclaimed his life. But Carol Dodge's love changed the course of justice itself. This is a reminder that our system is not infallible. And sometimes, real justice requires one person to refuse to give up.